Hello, and welcome to Giant Leaps for Brandkind. This is a podcast that explores brand led growth from all angles. I'm your host, Nat Lennox. I'm a B2B tech marketer who's worked across industries as varied as fintech, cybersecurity, SMB tech, aerospace, you name it. So, to begin this podcast, I thought I'd give you a little bit of a primer. So, why the hell do we need an entire podcast just focused on brand marketing in the first place in this world where there's a podcast about just about everything? So, here's my thinking. Um, Personally, I fell in love with branding when I was at university almost 2 decades ago. I know I'm dating myself. I'm 40 and I'm completely okay with it. This era was the early 2000s, and it was the exact same era that Paris Hilton registered the phrase "that's hot" as a trademark with the United States Patent Office. Shortly afterward, I purchased my own "That's Hot" t-shirt, wore them with my Y2K low-slung jeans. This was the first time that they were cool, and went about my merry way. And this was actually my first heavily branded experience, other than perhaps going to Disneyland as a child. A few years later, we saw the advent of platforms like Instagram. We saw Kim Kardashian arguably become the first social media influencer by plastering her Skechers shape-ups across her feeds alongside of her Super Bowl ad. And personally, almost all of my friends bought those ugly, super arched shoes. Sorry, Skechers. I'm not a huge fan, but perhaps this was the second sign for me that brand marketing was going to become a big thing in business. And the decade that followed, as I was building my career as a marketer and brand enthusiast, buying decisions across both B2C and B2B sectors became increasingly influenced by the power of brands and brand marketing. Not only is our collective day-to-day small purchase behavior heavily influenced by what we're seeing, hearing, and associating with our favorite brands, but also the world's busiest and most powerful C-suiters and decision makers are persuaded to make multi-million-dollar purchases primarily influenced by their brand associations. Brand is everywhere, and it's swaying everything that we do. The most forward-thinking businesses are investing in and harnessing this power. From Upwork's entertaining TikTok account featuring the life of freelancers to Twilio's free class library on fraud prevention, businesses now surround their customers and would-be customers with rich brand experiences, and these experiences are working. Today, brand experience significantly impacts our buying decisions across the board, prompting us to try new products, encouraging us to pay a premium for products that we trust, and affecting our willingness to spend. Also, our willingness to renew contracts and partnerships. Brand experiences are, in short, the not-so-secret rocket fuel to powering business growth. And despite all of this, the power and ROI of brand is largely misunderstood by many, many business leaders. And as a brand smart marketer and brand enthusiastic person, I've got to assure you that this is a massive pain in the ass. So I decided to do two things. The first thing is I'm writing a book about it. I'm writing a how-to book about how to harness the power of brand to drive business growth. However, in the meantime, since a book takes a very, very, very long time to write and get published, I decided to do something else, and that is launch this podcast. So my goal with Giant Leaps for Brandkind is to interview at least 100 people from businesses across the globe to talk about it. Let's talk about the power of brand. Let's get clarity. Let's share our ideas. Let's inspire businesses everywhere to believe, invest in, and harness the power of brand for themselves. All right. Happy listening.